Hi, this is Shirley J. Carter, and welcome back to another episode of Jazzy and Classy. And today we have, of course, the other Tony Bennett, singer, songwriter, producer, and
Hello.
also our special guest is Kenneth Rush, otherwise known as Krush Groove. Did I get it? Is that right?
That's me. That's me.
Okay. We have a great lineup with this musician. Now, he hails from Chicago. Can you tell me what it was like growing up in Chicago?
Well, it was cold. For real.
Oh, yes,
It was cold. But I've really I've been in music since man, I came even before the third grade was when I got into organized music.
yes.
We have a family band. I played the drums,
Hmm.
and I don't know. Maybe some of these drummers out there may know about this little bitty red drum set. It was all one
I
piece.
know about it. Yeah,
So
I know
I
about
had a
it.
family band, and we tried to
Hmm.
go record with Stack Records
Hmm.
back then, and the Staple Singers were really hot back then, and their brother Purvis. Uh,
Okay.
he didn't think we were ready for it,
Hmm.
and because we were trying to do a Gladys Knight thing, we weren't really trying to be ourselves. We were trying to be like, oh, we'll be like Gladys Knight. My had a younger
Right.
sister who preceded us,
Right.
and
Hmm.
she was a great singer, and she was
Hmm.
sung good, but Purvis Staples Jr. didn't feel we were ready
Okay.
for it, and we didn't even have to go that way. It turns out we had friends with Curtis Mayfield, and probably could have got picked up by Curtis Mayfield, but
Wow.
we kept
That's
going.
great.
We kept going
Curtis
on.
Mayfield's a great one.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
I ain't supposed to say this, but he and my older sister had a thing. Okay, before he
Okay.
became film, and
Mhm.
he went and moved on, and then he became Curtis Mayfield, and the family just needle hers about that all the time.
Yes, I can imagine. Now you have written over 80 songs yourself, is that correct?
Yes, great. Yes, yes. I write them. I mean, I put them together in an hour, and I have some success with them, and some don't do as well as I would like. But I always let SoundCloud is my judge. I do
Yes,
it, put it on
yes.
SoundCloud, and then SoundCloud will circulate it, and based on the amount of plays I get, well, I would know
Mhm.
how well the song is doing.
Right.
Some songs surprised me that I wrote. Right,
Mhm.
Christmas time's coming up. I wrote a song, Afro Bula Christmas, and
Yes.
I
And
released
I
that.
heard that song. That's pretty jazzy.
Well, I put it on SoundCloud,
Yes.
and instantly it just boom, boom,
Yes.
went the
It has
whole
a
night.
lot of nice rhythm beats, call and response, and it's really a great song.
Well, thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes.
So I was surprised that I had instant success with it. I did so that's SoundCloud. So I was playing like I got tonight. I got to do a party. I work with some very popular radio announcers here in Chicago, and
Okay.
how to play the parties.
Oh
So I'm doing
yes.
tonight, but I did a party just 2 weeks ago. I remember when we talked, and I did a
Hmm.
party,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
threw that
it was a set. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
threw
Hmm.
that song on, and you wouldn't believe it. I had people clapping their hands and singing, and I'm like, wow, And I have a little home studio, Shirley, a little
Okay.
it, and I go in my studio. I live alone. I ain't doing nothing, so I'll go in my studio and put something together. And an
Hmm.
hour or two, boom, I got something, and I send it on out to the world from my
That's what
home.
you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
like I said, I'm so just before I got on this set with you, ma'am, Shirley. I was on the phone with a radio announcer from my college. She's
Okay.
and, and her name is oh God, Isabel, I believe.
Okay.
Anyways, she is gonna play my song. So this will be my first taste of Chicagoland music with this.
Okay.
I'll play my
Mhm.
song. She's at the college at my alma mater. She's
Mhm.
there at their radio station and she's gonna play it. But she's gonna get back to me because I really wanna I wanna engage whomever
Right.
and yeah. So I'm looking to hear that from her, and maybe I think she's on Friday night. So tomorrow
Okay.
night, yeah, she'll play it.
So,
And
go ahead.
so like Chicago's a great place. I mean, you
It
got to
is.
remember if you know the history of Chicago, you know that the
Yes.
Rolling Stones and the Beatles
Yes.
got got their start right here in Chicago. You know, the Beatles were with a black-owned record company uh,
Right.
here in Chicago, and they cut up their first album here in
Yes.
Chicago. I can't think of the label right now, but if you look up the Beatles, I forgot the label, but get back with me, I'll let you know. The
Yeah.
Beatles did their thing here, and the Rolling Stones. Now the Rolling Stones were with Chess Records,
Yes. Chess
uh,
records. Yes.
Chess
Mhm.
Records, which is very popular in Bluesville. If you know the blues, Chess Records, Muddy Waters,
Right.
Holland Wolf was came through chess. Uh, chess didn't take. Who made it to big time was Chuck Berry. You know
Oh, yes.
that's a
Big
stain on their record
time.
from now on. They didn't take Chuck Berry. But
So, tell
go.
me some of the instruments that you play.
Oh well, like I said, I started before third grade playing
Right.
drums, and I went from drums to trumpet in third grade. I went from trumpet to well, it was called cornet, which is a very small
Right.
trumpet. Mhm. I
Mhm.
went from cornet to French horn, and from French horn to I think a baritone,
Okay.
which was vowel instruments. His raw brass. I was in brass instruments till I got
Yes.
to high school, and when I got in
Mhm.
college, I had to spread my wings. You know, I
Right.
took guitar,
Mhm.
saxophone, flute, bass guitar, piano,
Yes.
and I dealt with that. And I had one advantage because I already knew how to read music. A lot of
Oh,
people
great. Yes.
didn't. I mean, I knew how to read music third grade. Okay, that's how
Wow.
I organized music in the third grade.
Mhm.
And so I got in there and I learned the music, and I didn't finish the program. I had a dispute with the piano teacher. I'm not going to get into that. He he taught Kanye West. He was the school I went to. Kanye West's mother was a teacher there, and this
Yes, I
piano.
heard she was a teacher. Yes. Mhm.
She taught there during the time I was there, and I know he taught Kanye some things on the keyboard, and
Yes.
Kanye is all types of money from
Mhm.
lessons. I'm still trying to do something, but
Okay.
so I got out of music, so I hooked up with a radio Hall of Famer here in Chicago named Herb Kent. They call him Herb the Cougent,
Right.
and I hooked up with him, and he taught me how to play. I was his. He told me I was from the Go For It tribe. I said the Go For It. Yes.
Okay.
He said
Mhm.
yes. You go get this and you go get that. So Go For It
Mhm.
tribe. And so we got spent 10 years working for Herb Kent, and I just met so many pop stars meeting Herb
Okay.
Kent, working with Herb Kent for 10 years. I mean, I can't even Stephanie Mills, Al Jarreau. I'm at the radio station, and there's Al Jarreau and his wife and Stephanie. I'm at a party at the radio station. There's Stephanie Mills, you know. So
Mhm.
Mickey Howard, yeah. I mean, I just can't
Wow.
all the people,
Mhm.
all the people I've
Mhm.
met just through her pen. But I was, like I said, I had was learning how to play parties, the DJ, and
Mhm.
I started working for a millionaire. And this millionaire, he was crazy about the blues. He had a
Okay.
100-room ballroom, 500-seat ballroom, and
Mm.
he said, so he was so crazy about the blues. Every big Malaco record star came there to play, and some even weren't even with Malaco, but they were close. I met Bobby Bland, Little Milton, Lattimore, Clarence Carter, Bobby
Wow. Clarence Carter. Mm. Yeah.
Rush. I can't even mention Tyrone Davis.
Tyrone
All
Davis. Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
but this millionaire, Marshall of the Charlottes. And I got more about Marshall and the Charlottes. Yeah,
Okay.
playing DJing for this millionaire. I was his favorite DJ. All he wanted me to play was blues, and hey, he was
Mhm.
putting food on the table, so I played blues, and I met all those blues stars. I even met Albert King, but that was a different story. But I did meet Albert King,
Oh, great.
and
Mhm.
um, one day, people are not going to believe this.
Mhm.
One day I was listening to the radio, and it said Michael Jackson's father is having a birthday party. I said, "Wow,
Oh,
Michael
yes.
having Michael Jackson's father." Because I love, hey, anybody tell you that they didn't like the Jackson Five? I got some elevator tickets. I won't sell
Oh,
you.
yeah. Right.
So I
Mhm.
go to this. I said, "Well, I'm gonna go. It's in Chicago. His party, 80th birthday party here in Chicago."
Okay.
So I said, "Well, hey, I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna stand in the crowd, you know." So it turns out that it wasn't a big crowd out there to meet him, and
Okay.
close enough to speak to him.
Mhm.
So I had this book. I went to this concert, a Jackson Five concert. I think it was called the Victory Tour. Anyway, they
Mhm.
had a pictorial out called Papa Joe Boys. And I don't know if you know.
Okay.
Okay, there's some pictorial. So when he passed me, I said, Papa Joe, how you doing? And everybody looked at me. I'm like, everybody's looking at me. Is this a illegitimate kid? And I said, well,
Mhm.
he knew he knew exactly what I was talking about. He came up to me. He says, all these people think they know me, and they don't know about my book, Papa Joe. He
Oh,
says, do you?
wow.
I said,
Mhm.
I didn't need a job, but I wasn't going to tell him no, right? So
Right.
yeah, I
Mhm.
said, yeah, I need a job. So I wound up working for a record label for Papa Joe. This is for
Great.
Mike. This is the same year Michael passed, actually. And
Mhm.
wound up working for a record label with Marshall of the Shy Lights. So, like I said, I don't know if you ever heard of the Shy Lights. Oh,
Yes.
girl, they,
Of course I have.
they
Of
were great.
course.
Marshall is like the last living Shy Light, original Shy Light.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I was able to work with under Marshall, looking for talent. And now Papa Joe had these. He also wanted me to sell these barbecue grills. He had some
Mhm.
you know, the George Foreman barbecue grill was really big back then. And
Yes.
so Papa Joe had these barbecue grills that looked like baseballs and footballs and race cars and everything. So he wanted me to sell them, but it was rough times. I think that was
Mhm.
when during the recession, the real recession.
Right.
So
Right.
I did work for him, and then I was waiting to meet Michael because this is going to be
Mhm.
my chance to meet the king of pop. And then Michael died. Now
Wow.
Papa Joe they closed everything down, so that record label really never got off the ground.
Mhm.
But Papa Joe did play for my cousin's my twin 50th birthday party.
Your twin?
Yeah, my twin. He paid for my twin 50th birthday party.
Okay.
so
Mhm.
And so it was great. That was my experience. I think the last time I talked to him, this is what he said. He told me, he said, "Listen, you look out for my darn kids." I
Mhm.
said, "Michael,
Mhm.
Jackie, Tito, Marlon, you looking for me?
Mhm.
I need. I'm on the corner with a pot in my hand."
Mhm.
He said, "No, no, no, that damn." He said, "They got it made already. So I want you to
Mhm.
look out for my grandkids." And I said, "Papa Joe, if I ever get the opportunity to look out for your grandkids, it's done." So,
Okay.
so that was my last. He
Mm,
was heading over to Europe. I called him, and he was heading over to Europe to promote his barbecue grills and stuff like that.
okay. I
Uh,
see.
so,
Now you have a collection of guitars. I noticed you have a collection of
yeah,
guitars.
in fact, I have a Fender, a Gretsch,
Mhm.
and a SCR
Right.
guitar. Those are two of them are bass guitars, and one is a lead to
Mhm.
Gretsch. I uh,
Okay.
my older brother plays guitar, so I don't. I don't actually try to play a lot of lead guitar because he doesn't. I just do chords and stuff. Rhythm
Okay.
guitar.
I see.
I have
Mhm.
keyboards. I have
Mhm.
drums,
Right.
and and I have I have a Pro Tools, which is like the standard for for the industry. Pro Tools.
Yeah.
That's the standard for the recording industry.
Right. Now,
Yeah, excuse me above my
so
hair.
yes.
I,
Now, do you like
mhm.
experimental music? Do you get involved with that? Experimental.
Every song I do is an experiment. Believe it or not,
Okay. Yes.
songs I do. I just
Mhm.
man, I put together a beat
Mhm.
and say, well, I like that beat, and then I'll go to my bass guitar and put
Right.
something, and then the lead guitar and the keyboards,
Mhm.
and I have some bongos and I have a bongo congo, and I put that
Okay.
in there, and now just boom, and then like I said, I put it together in my home here, and
Mhm.
send it off to SoundCloud and
That's
let Sound.
good.
And like I said,
Good.
not every song has been a success, but my first song that did was like 2,000 plays because that's pretty good for SoundCloud. I mean, there are
Right.
people who millions in SoundCloud, but they're not home musicians and stuff like that, and they're mostly DJs who
Right.
who who use all mixing all that stuff, but they aren't real musicians. So that I'm a real
Right.
musician, and so I
So,
do it
talk about
from
some of the songs that you've written. Talk about
well
some of the songs.
my current well the song that my biggest song that played all over the world. It's called Once, and it's got about like
Right.
2,000 plays by SoundCloud.
Mhm.
I made the mistake of putting it on there on SoundCloud three different times, and when you total it up, it's over 2,000 plays.
Right.
But my song once did that, and I had some other songs that done 800, and some other songs done 500. But
Okay.
what that does is I look at what I do with those songs. I look at it and I say, man, this song did this many.
Mhm.
Well, now I want to see if I can market the song to a band
Mhm.
and get them to record it,
Right.
or because like I said, I play all the instruments on my song, every instrument. I'm every vocal. So
Yes.
now I have to take those my song, something that SoundCloud says, well, this is successful. I take that, and now if I want to do a show or something, I
Mhm.
would hire a band, hire musicians,
Okay.
have them come to the studio, have them rehearse what I already did. And you know someone else who used to do that? You may know the guy. His name's Prince. Have you heard of
Oh
Prince?
yes. Do I know Prince? Oh, his
Well,
sister just died, by the way. Did you see
yeah,
that?
yeah. So, but Prince would be in the studio, and he would do
Mhm.
everything. He would put every song together, in the studio, and
Mhm.
then he would hire musicians to come in. When he's ready to release, he would hire musicians to play by ear
Right.
what he had done.
Right.
And that's where you got all those big hits, when Dove Cry, all that.
Oh
Prince
yes.
would put all that together in the studio.
Mhm.
And at this time, there was no home based studio unless you had like Jimi Hendrix. I think had a home based studio. I forgot the name of it. Magic something. Jimi Hendrix, he had a home, but that was after years of going out, renting a studio, and having to pay all that money. Everything you can do back then, you can do now in in your comfort of your home.
Yes, right in your home. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
So Prince, that's what Prince did. He would go to the studio. He had to pay for all that studio time, but he
Mhm.
had enormous success with all his hits. So I'm just
You
still
sure
looking to get.
did.
Yes, I'm just looking to get that one hit because I think if you got one hit, you're a millionaire. I think 50 Cent only had one hit,
Yes.
and that's all it took. Now you got $4 or $5 million or more, just from one hit.
Mhm. Yes.
So so I'm still searching that one hit, and like I said, I really my Afro Bula Christmas is something that I hope will be in line with James Brown, the King of Soul, Santa Claus Come Home for Christmas. In fact,
Yes.
hope it will be. I didn't try. No one can replace James Brown. I just hope to be in the room
Oh
where
yeah. Oh
yeah
yeah.
comes
Mhm.
comes to the ghetto. And so that's what I'm heavily promoting right now. Even though I got other records, I just had a record I put out just 2 days ago on SoundCloud and instant success. It's
Okay,
called
great.
True Blue.
So, what do you plan to do in the near future? What are you leaning towards now?
Well, right, well, as I said, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm
Mhm.
heading back to college, get my master's
Okay.
degree. I'm
Mhm.
my master's degree and doing that. And
Mhm.
the people keep trying to pull me back into the nightclubs to play, and I uh, I really I gave that up for live music. I'm going to do some live music. If I go back
Okay.
into nightclubs, I would probably do jazz, some live jazz, because I like jazz. I come to really like jazz, and especially
Okay. Right.
music, live jazz. So it's
Mhm.
not just live jazz. Oh, but that's one thing I wanted to tell you. Now, no, a lot of people may think this is strange or funny, but
Mhm.
I like live doo-wop. Believe it or not,
Okay, live doo-wop. Okay.
it's man, I never even appreciated doo-wop until I heard it live. And when you hear
Yes.
these dumb voices coming through that microphone, oh
Mhm.
man, you be like, wow,
Well, uh-huh.
it's a brand new heavy.
Yes, yes. I can imagine live and like you say, good microphones and
Yeah,
pumping
awesome.
through. Mhm.
Live doo-wop. And that is really, I really appreciate some live doo-wop. I mean, I hear it
Mhm.
on the record, but ain't nothing like live doo-wop. You can hear some live doo-wop, you are in for a show.
Yes.
Sure. So I like
Wow.
doo-wop, and well, like I said, and then I'm still want to markets my records, or at least see if before see if how it works live here in Chicago, and if it goes live, goes over well, maybe get some industry people that I still know from Herb Kent, and
Right.
see if they want to promote it. But
That sounds good.
oh yeah,
So
well,
again, uh, this is Kenneth Rush. He's
mhm.
otherwise known as Crush Groove, and we've
That's all.
been talking about him in reference to his music, particularly jazz. And so, let me ask you this: do you have a shout out for anyone?
Oh yes, I would like
Mhm.
to send a shout out to Sam Chapman. He's like the top jock here in Chicago. Sam Chapman. I mean, I go back maybe 30, 40 years with Sam Chapman, and he wasn't even on.
Great.
And
Mhm.
Chapman was filling rooms on a Sunday night, what
Okay.
people couldn't do on a Friday night, and he'd have them out till 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night
Wow. Uh-huh.
dancing and singing and everything. He got a
That's nice.
yeah, Sam Chapman. I'm gonna send him a shout out and
Right.
send a shout out to Marshall the shout outs and
Mhm.
shout out to not to be a name dropper, but to my brother, a retired Congressman Bobby Rush, retired Congressman.
Yes.
So
Yes.
shout out to him and the family, and of course shout out to the Heavenly Father who who who
Mhm.
who. Who for not for him, none of this would have happened anyway. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
shout out to you, Heavenly Father. And yeah, but that's about it. I mean, everybody.
Okay.
That
What
was
about your contact information? You have
oh,
contact information?
Facebook. Facebook, you can
Okay.
read Facebook. I'm Kenneth Rush on Facebook. And I do have a line. It's a business line of 773-780-9379.
Can you
Seven.
repeat that?
It just says 773
Mhm.
780 9379. That's here in Chicago. That's my business line. So anyone can
Okay.
call. You can call and say
Mhm.
what you say what you want, but it's my business.
Right.
hmm So
And what advice would you get anyone new coming into music? Any new
Uh,
musician?
well, I always tell people to stay focused and give it all you got.
Right.
Yeah, and have
So,
a good.
you'll be a guest again, I hope.
I will hope you will have me back again, and
Definitely.
if I was,
Definitely.
I wouldn't have been down to the minute and stuff like that. I was pretty sick
That's
last
the
night.
way it goes sometimes. So, Tony Bennett, do you have something you want to say to our guests?
I just want to say, it's great to have you, and
Hmm.
I'm very proud of the Chicago scene.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of labels, man. Leonard Chess, came through that town. He built that
Hmm.
label, and what a lot of people don't know is the blues singer that passed away that sings "Walk On By." The big
Oh, oh,
he
Yeah.
was
welcome.
yeah
Okay, man.
Yeah, he was a songwriter on staff, I believe, for Leonard Chess. And what happened when Leonard Chess had that heart attack and passed away, they were going to shut down the studio. I think he took over the studio and up to this day kept it going. So he was responsible for keeping Chess Records. Now I didn't know both Chess Records and Stax Records are both in Chicago. Is that correct?
No, no, no. The Stable Singers are from
Oh,
Chicago,
okay.
and they had a satellite office.
I meant
Uh,
the actual labels. Chess
that's
Records.
the label is still I think in Tennessee.
Okay. All
Uh-huh.
right.
But they had a satellite office here for the Stable
Okay.
Singers, which was one of the Stax Records' biggest singing groups. You know, along with Isaac
Right.
Hayes
Mhm.
and
Yes.
Isaac Hayes and he died in the plane crash. Otis Redding. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
Otis
yeah.
Redding.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, but they had a satellite office here, and like I said, I wasn't even in organized music back then when
I
we
understand.
auditioned for the Staples Singers, for Purvis Staples, the brother of Mavis and son of
Hmm.
Purvis Jr. So we were just that young trying to make it in music, and we loved the Jackson Five. I mean, we were crazy about them when we
Hmm.
were that age. 'Cause Michael was already out there making money, so we were like, well, we can try, and it didn't work out. But yeah, I never gave up. I still had the never let that flame drown out, you know, for music.
Right. Mhm.
And so I still try to, like I said, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm, who knows if with this Afro Bula Christmas, it seemed to be